As you get older, you should be able to travel with a more discerning eye. And of course, with the Real South Africa, we do that. And that's why when you're traveling with us, you get so much because your expectations should be high. So we're chatting about it. So see us in the Real South Africa. Hey guys, this is Mark Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And yes, we travel as well. We love traveling, but you got to travel proper. You know, some of the things that we're able to do, even when we go on vacation and we travel, we actually bring on a team of people that sort things out for us, so we don't have to be riding around looking or asking Uber drivers where to go or, you know, how do you get here, or just relying on the internet. There is a network of people that have the answers for everything that you need. You just got to be able to explain it. For example, in our case, we're always like, hey, we need 5-star. We need lots of accommodations, transportation, everything covered. Things that we like to do, more upmarket type things. And so when people contact us, you need to understand if you're coming to South Africa, you know, we're your tour operators that are going to get you exactly what you need. We basically kind of already know, like the people that we reached out to, they already knew exactly what we needed and what we were looking for. So it was an easy plug-in. So we can just come and have fun, and we're not concerned. As another person asked me last night, how'd you hear about this hotel? And I said, well, we got travel partners that let us know, you know, hey, this is where you want to be. And that's who we are in South Africa for you guys. You know, we basically already know what you want, even though you've never heard of these brands, you've never heard of these, you know, situations that we're talking about. But we actually do know, because we spend a lot of time. 9 times out of 10, we've probably already been there several times. And so when we're chatting with you, we know that you guys want nice stuff, upmarket stuff that's amazing. You don't want any hassle. You don't want to have to figure out, okay, how am I getting from the airport? How am I getting back to the airport? How am I getting to all these different excursions? What type of restaurants are we going to eat at? Are we going to be able to eat at all? All these types of things, we sort it all out for you. And that's why we call ourselves the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism, because we take care of it all. We're not just, oh, you know, you need a hotel and then you get there, now you're trying to figure it out. No. So I would say, you know, people need to travel well, especially once you're getting past your 40s. And, you know, when you was younger, it didn't matter if you was, you know, if the thread count of the sheets that you were sleeping in wasn't that high. But as you get a little bit older, you're looking for more. And if you're looking for more, South Africa has it. But again, travel proper, go to nice places, do nice things, and that's what we're here for. So it's not a scenario where you can just ask us, okay, where to stay, where to go. I mean, this is our intellectual property. We literally went out, did the research, got the connects as far as, you know, and the business relationships with these locations. So when you do show up, it's like, oh, you're with the Real South Africa. Everything is different. So that's really us in a nutshell. So if you really want to travel proper, you know, when you come and when you leave, you will see the difference between any other trip that you've been on ever, you know. And the experiences is amazing. And that's why, again, those who follow us on social media, been watching and seeing so many people coming back and forth with us because they want a proper experience. They know the difference now. And then number 2, they're like, you know, you starting to see it. Oh, I want to move there. I want to move there, because they came in on a level where we operate, and they're like, this is affordable. And I want to live like this all the time. I want to have this level of access all the time. This is what I had planned on in my life, but I couldn't see it in the United States because of obviously the cost points or the price points. So that's why South Africa is becoming more of a haven for a lot of us. But if you come in like do what you normally do, like we've all done, we get it, you know, like, or we traveled when we was in our 20s and our early 30s, just get a hotel and just start walking around and looking for things. I promise you, everything that you're looking for, you're just not going to find it, simply because you know you got to be plugged in, and you got to be traveling well. So, like where I'm sitting right now, the truth is I'm not even in South Africa. I'm in Switzerland. And but again, we got travel partners that we work with that make sure we are in the right places, doing all the right things. And we're excited. And that's why every time we travel here or anywhere, we always go with a proper travel company that makes things work for us. And that's what we're saying. When you come to South Africa, there's no one in place. There was somebody who was like, oh, well, I want to go with someone else. And they don't realize that there is no one else that's making sure your travels from the United States to South Africa is done proper. For one. Number two, we're actually in country. And then number three, we own all the relationships with everyone that you're gonna be working with. So there is a difference between traveling proper and then just going on a trip. So I would say travel proper with the real South Africa travel and tourism.
And 30s. A frantic, often messy, beautiful dance of discovery. You're chasing something, usually on a shoestring, fueled by instant noodles and an unshakable belief in your own immortality. It's glorious in its way, but then something shifts. The music changes. The pace, while still vibrant, finds a new, more confident groove. This isn't about slowing down, it's about leveling up. South Africa, a place that mirrors this journey, this evolution. Raw, beautiful, complex, and utterly intoxicating. It's a country that demands you pay attention, that rewards curiosity with moments of pure, unadulterated awe. And that's what travel in your 40s becomes. A quest for those moments, not just the cheap thrills, but the deep, resonant experiences that stick to your ribs, that change the way you see the world, and maybe, just maybe, the way you see yourself. So, what happens when the backpack gets upgraded to something with wheels? And the hostel bunk to a thread count that doesn't require a hazmat suit? What happens when adventure means not just surviving the journey, but savoring every damn intricate, delicious, occasionally baffling, and ultimately rewarding second of it? That's what we're here to find out. Forget what you think you know about getting older. This is about getting better, getting wiser, and traveling not just further, but deeper. Buckle up. Let's be honest. There was a certain romance to roughing it. The lumpy mattress in a room shared with a symphony of snorers. The mystery meat stew bought from a street vendor whose hygiene standards were, shall we say, interpretive. These were badges of honor, tales to be told over cheap beer. But the truth, my back hurt. And while I wouldn't trade those memories, there comes a point when the allure of a perfectly pressed sheet, a glass of wine that doesn't come in a box, and a view that doesn't include someone's discarded socks becomes not just appealing, but essential. This isn't about being soft, it's about acknowledging that comfort isn't the enemy of experience. Sometimes it's the goddamn enabler. The 40s. It's an age where you've hopefully learned a thing or two. Like the difference between a tourist trap and a genuine local gem. Or the profound joy of a meal where every ingredient sings, prepared by someone who gives a damn. Suddenly, that curated experience, the one you might have scoffed at in your youth as inauthentic, reveals itself for what it is. An opportunity to appreciate craftsmanship, dedication, and the sheer pleasure of something done exceptionally well. It's the freedom to say, yes, I'll have the tasting menu, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you've earned the right to indulge in the art of it all. This isn't about conspicuous consumption. It's about value, not just monetary value, but the value of your time, your energy, your well-being. It's about understanding that a little bit of luxury, strategically deployed, can elevate an entire trip from mere excursion to a collection of indelible memories. It's the difference between just seeing a place and truly it, unburdened by the small, persistent discomforts that once seemed like part of the deal. Now, the deal is better. The thread count is higher, the wine is finer, and the memories, they're pure gold. Remember those whirlwind trips? 7 cities in 10 days, a blur of train stations and iconic landmarks glimpsed through a bus window. You collected passport stamps like trading cards, ticking off boxes with a fierce, youthful determination. There's a certain breathless charm to that, a hunger to see it all. But somewhere along the line, you realize that seeing isn't the same as understanding. The 40s usher in a desire for something more substantial, a yearning to move beyond the surface, to pull up a chair and stay a while. It's the shift from a frantic sprint to a more deliberate, more immersive exploration. It's about the quality of the interaction, not the quantity of sights. It's finding that small, unassuming cafe where the owner knows everyone's name and is willing to share stories over a strong cup of coffee. It's stumbling into a local music performance in a dimly lit bar that isn't in any guidebook, feeling the rhythm of a place beat in your own chest. These aren't the moments you can schedule or optimize. They're the serendipitous gifts that come when you trade the itinerary for genuine curiosity, when you're willing to listen more than you talk, and when your primary goal is no longer to conquer, but to connect. This is where travel transforms from a highlight reel into a rich, complex narrative. You start seeking out the nuances, the untold stories, the quiet corners where the true heart of a destination lies. Maybe it's diving deep into a specific historical period, or learning a new skill from a local master, or simply allowing yourself the time to get lost and find something unexpected. The checklist gets shorter, but the experiences get infinitely richer. You're no longer just a visitor passing through. You're a student, an observer, a participant in the ongoing story of a place. Chapter 3, the unfurled map, time, choice, and the open road. There's a certain kind of freedom that settles in during your 40s. It's not the reckless abandon of youth, but something more grounded, more intentional. Maybe the career ladder has a few more rungs beneath your feet, providing a stability that once seemed like a distant dream. Perhaps the frantic pace of building a life has eased just enough to allow for a deep breath, a longer look at the horizon. Suddenly, the idea of a 2-week vacation doesn't feel like a monumental heist from your obligations, but a well-deserved chapter in your own story. The map of the world unfurls, not as a challenge, but as an invitation. This newfound latitude isn't just about the length of the trips, but their nature. It's the space to finally take that romantic getaway you've been talking about for years, where the only agenda is reconnecting, not just with each other, but with the sheer joy of shared discovery. Or perhaps it's the multi-generational pilgrimage, a chance to see the world through younger eyes while sharing the wisdom of your own accumulated miles. The ability to be spontaneous, to say yes to that last-minute deal or that unexpected detour, isn't born of irresponsibility, but of a quiet confidence that you can handle whatever the road throws your way. And sometimes the greatest luxury is the freedom to travel with yourself, for yourself, to disconnect from the noise and reconnect with that inner voice that often gets drowned out in the daily grind. It's about understanding that travel in this phase of life isn't an escape, but a return. A return to a sense of wonder, a return to passions that may have been put on hold, a return to the core of who you are when all the external pressures fall away. The choices are yours, the time is more available, and the world in all its glorious complexity is waiting. Chapter 4, the geography of self. Wellness, wonder, and waking up. Somewhere between the relentless ambition of your 20s and the dawning awareness of your 40s, a new priority often emerges: wellness. And I'm not just talking about green juice and yoga retreats, though there's a time and place for those too. I'm talking about a deeper kind of well-being, a holistic sense of alignment that travel in its most mindful form can powerfully cultivate. It's the recognition that the journey isn't just about what you see, but how it makes you feel, how it shifts your perspective, and how it nourishes your soul. This is where travel becomes a form of active meditation. It's about consciously choosing experiences that replenish rather than deplete. Maybe it's a silent retreat in a place of profound, natural beauty, allowing the quiet to seep into your bones and clear out the mental clutter. Or perhaps it's engaging in practices that ground you in the present moment. The feel of ancient stones beneath your feet, the scent of unfamiliar spices in a bustling market, the sound of a language you don't understand but can feel in your heart. It's about slowing down enough to truly absorb the world around you, to be fully present in each unfolding moment. The transformative power of travel in your 40s lies in this conscious engagement. It's understanding that the greatest souvenirs are not the trinkets you buy, but the shifts in consciousness you bring home. It's the realization that taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. And that sometimes the best way to do that is to step outside your familiar world and see it and yourself anew. This isn't just about a vacation, it's about an evolution. It's about finding those places, those experiences, those moments that allow you to shed old skins and emerge, if not entirely new, then certainly more awake. Outro, the accumulated mileage. Wisdom in a worn passport. There's a unique flavor to adventure when you've got a few decades under your belt. The frantic energy of youth, that burning need to see and do everything right now, mellows into something richer, more nuanced. It's like a good wine or a well-aged cheese. The complexities emerge, the subtleties sing. You're not just collecting passport stamps anymore. You're collecting stories, insights, a deeper understanding of the sprawling, beautiful, often maddening thing we call the human experience. Each journey adds another layer, another shade of meaning to the tapestry. This wisdom, this patina of experience, allows you to appreciate the world with a depth that simply wasn't accessible before. You see the connections, you understand the history in a more profound way. You can sit with the uncomfortable truths and still find the beauty. The annoyances of travel, the delayed flights, the language barriers, become less of a catastrophe and more a part of the rich, unpredictable pageant. You learn to laugh at the absurdities, to cherish the unexpected kindnesses, and to recognize that every encounter, every detour is a lesson in disguise. So if you're in your 40s or heading that way, don't think for a second that the grand adventures are behind you. They're just different, they're smarter, often more comfortable, and infinitely more meaningful. Embrace the luxury, seek the deep connections, revel in your freedom, and prioritize your well-being. The world is still out there, vast and inviting, waiting to be explored with fresh eyes and a heart full of the wisdom that only comes with accumulated mileage. Go find your story.
Everybody, this is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
and we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
All right, guys, you see my friend back there? It's one of my South African buddies. We like to hang out and whatnot. So I think he's gonna break out of here and go home and whatnot. We just had a beer earlier, and he likes beer like me. He's a good guy. But yeah, he's like really like just right there. And yeah. Oh my God, this is so cool. Imagine a journey that awakens your soul. From Johannesburg's vibrant streets to Cape Town's breathtaking vistas, stand tall in Mandela Square, reflect at the Apartheid Museum, indulge in luxury hotels, and savor exquisite cuisine under starlit skies. This is the real South Africa, more than a vacation. It's the adventure of a lifetime, Book your dream trip at realsouthafrica.com and let your story take flight.
Imagine a place where your history comes alive and your future unfolds. Welcome to South Africa, where Black excellence meets natural wonder. From the vibrant streets of Johannesburg to the sun-kissed beaches of Durban, a journey of discovery awaits. The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism understands your journey. Because it's our journey too, we've curated experiences that speak to the Black American soul, ensuring your trip is not just a vacation, but a homecoming. From safaris that bring you face-to-face with majestic wildlife, to wine tours in the lush Cape winelands, we offer adventures that cater to every taste and interest. So why are Black Americans flocking to South Africa? Because here we don't just visit, we belong. Book your unforgettable journey today with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. Discover your roots, embrace your future. The Real South Africa awaits.
The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We are a travel company based in Johannesburg. However, we can get you to Durban because look at what you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Can't you imagine yourself just hanging out here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? I'm trying to tell you, you're probably not going to want to leave like a lot of our guests from the past. However, all you have to do to come here is reach out to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you can come and enjoy and see what South Africa is really about. There's so much here, so much to do between the beaches, between the culture, between the food and everything else. And of course, the people here in South Africa in this place called Durban. We will see you here in sunny South Africa.
For spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.